Are you wondering what it is like moving across country or state with kids? Well, we're going to talk about it. His and her edition. My name is Brittany. This is my husband, Andrew. I am with eXp Realty right here in Phoenix, Arizona. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to know everything about eating, living, sleeping, playing in the city of Phoenix, Arizona, then make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so that every time I put out a new video, you'll get notified. Honestly, we get so many people calling or texting us that are relocating to the city of Phoenix, Arizona. And me and my team absolutely love it. Honestly, if you are considering moving out here, make sure you give us a call, make sure you give us a text, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. So make sure you stick around for that last tip because the last tip is the best tip. So let's get into it. Let's talk about us moving to Phoenix, Arizona. As some of you may know, we moved out from California to Phoenix a couple months ago. And how do you think our move went?
Well, I think the move went relatively well.
Yeah.
Moving from one state to another. There are a lot of stages of preparation that you need to take in order to move from one state to another. And when you take those preparation stages and you get those done, I think it makes it a little bit more smoother. And that's kind of what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say from the moment that we secured the realization and you took the job position out here in Phoenix is when we started the planning. I mean, I started to declutter.
Yeah.
Going through everything at the house that you have now is absolutely important because you don't want to pay and go through the stress of packing and bringing something that you don't even need or you don't even want. So with the kids, I got rid of all of their smaller size clothes and we donated all of their toys. The ones that they didn't play with anymore or that they outgrew, we donated. Even in the backyard, some of the things that were weathered because of the sun or the kids didn't play with it, we gave them away to our neighbors.
Yeah.
And also in that process is kind of when we told our neighbors that we were moving.
Yeah. When we found out we were going to be moving, I want to say it was probably like a month to a month and a half, maybe, that we kind of knew. And I think the minute we found out, maybe a little before that, Brittany started packing the house. I mean, boxes were we started, cleared out our garage, started stacking boxes.
Especially the decorations.
Yeah.
The decorations, I started to pack early because it's like, we don't need these.
Yeah. When start taking things down off the wall. Start, getting your boxes and your newspaper and your wrapping paper. I think that really helps.
Also, as you're decluttering the house, this is a good time to also start to involve the kids and give them some responsibilities that let them know, hey, we're going to a new area, we're going to a new house. What should we bring with us? What should we donate? Give them a chance to donate their toys or their clothes to people who need it, just so that they're going through their emotions and they're going through the process with you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you did do that a lot with the kids and with some of those toys. A lot of times there were toys that they just compiled over the years. And I think that when we were moving, we did put them into a big pile and we said, these are going to kids who are less fortunate or somewhere else, or even things that we were able to sell. If you find some of those things, the kids, they always want new toys, always want new things. So this was a great opportunity to say, hey, let's even take that business mindset of, let's find the different toys that you don't want. Let's see if there's maybe a collection of toys.
Yeah.
And we put them up on, online for
Offer
sale.
Up and Macari.
Yep. And we were able to sell them for.
I did a lot of bundles actually. So I would put like all of the size 3T, the 3T clothing. I put it in a bundle and sold it on Offer Up or Macari, and we were able to make a couple dollars. And actually what I did was, with the couple dollars that we made, we went to Costco and bought those black and yellow bins. They were about $7 to $8 each, and they were perfect because we were able to use the black bins to pack up a bunch of our stuff, store them in the garage until we were ready. And then now that we got to our new place, we're able to use those current bins, maybe with different stuff in them, here in the garage.
Yeah.
So we were able to get lots of use out of those bins. And it was great because the movers just had to pick them up, move them. I wrote like on the little tab which room it went to. And it's sometimes more, it's better than boxes sometimes, because we were able to use those crates for storage. I think right now he stores some of the kids' sports stuff in the backyard, in the shed, in the garage. When we go back and forth to California and say we're taking some food or whatever we want to take to my parents' house, sometimes he uses those bins again. So the bins were a great investment.
And it helps with uniformity as well. So uniformity, and you know what's in what. Like if you know all your sports items are going to be in this particular bin, it really helps with, I guess, putting things that you need to go in there, and you can just write down whatever it is. So when we're grabbing that stuff off the U-Haul or storing it, we know exactly where it's at, and it's a uniform structure in our garage. So, which is good.
Yeah, we like uniformity.
She does.
So you also want to make sure that you are flexible. If you're relocating due to work, get that start date. Hopefully you can maybe take a week or two off prior to the start date, so you can decide, do I need more time in my new state, or do I need more time in my old state to get everything together? We pretty much had 2 weeks as far as a flexibility mark, so that we can get the kids dropped off at my parents' house while we met the movers at our house in San Diego, got it all loaded, and we took a 2-day trip here to Phoenix, Arizona to get us all moved in before we went back and got the kids.
We dropped one car off. What we did is we brought one car and the U-Haul.
So what we did was we had the U-Haul, which our movers drove the U-Haul. We drove one car.
That's right.
And we filled up that car. We arrived here in Arizona, had the movers unload. As the movers and my husband unloaded, I was in the kitchen getting the kitchen all set up, got the bed set up. I wanted to make sure that when we brought the kids back that it wasn't more chaos, that we were somewhat organized and somewhat ready for the toddlers to come into home.
And that's a big point too with time. So not only with the kids and setting up setting up the house for when you get there, but give yourself time for yourself when you get there. I think we didn't just move and I started it. We moved, I think I gave myself a week or a week and a half to unpack and get things going and get the house up and running and make sure everyone's comfortable, make sure everyone's in their stage, in their state of their minds are clear, so that, because things go really quickly, right? Your
time goes really quick.
Time goes quick, and when you're working, and it's you can get caught up in that really quickly. So.
And when you're moving across country, anything can happen, especially if you're shipping a car. Maybe your car doesn't arrive on time, your flight's delayed. So, don't just give yourself a 2-day window. Make sure it's a comfortable window, so that way you don't, run into the stressors of trying to rush and trying to call your new employer and say, hey, I'm stuck, or whatever the case is. Give yourself time, especially if you have kids. I feel like one of the worst things you can do is be like a rushed mommy or a rushed daddy. That doesn't create a happy environment for the kids. So be flexible. Give yourself a cushion.
Also, I think another good point, which I don't know if you were going to talk about it, but is When we moved from California, those who know about California, they're going through a lot of different things out in California. And then with COVID, there's a lot of restrictions. So what you've been finding is a lot of people have been leaving California, right? They've been going to other states. Now, when that happens, things get harder to get, right? Everyone's moving. So
the moving trucks.
The moving truck, U-Haul, find the company. What company are you going to be going with? Research that company. Make sure they have, that credibility with moving across state. Moving across state is not the same thing as moving interstate, right?
Yeah.
There's two different things. Interstate can be a lot easier. It's a lot easier to get to that point. This one was state to state, different taxes, different laws, different everything. So you want to make sure you're prepared for that. And that U-Haul, I think at the time there were, oh my goodness, there was a shortage. There was a shortage of U-Hauls, and the price was extraordinary when it comes to moving from California to another place.
Yeah,
you can get the U-Haul at that other place for cheaper, but in California it was expensive.
But actually, the moving company that we used, they had their own truck.
They had their own.
So
truck.
We didn't have to worry about renting a U-Haul in California and then dropping it off here in Phoenix.
Yes,
because that is a route.
However, make sure that credibility with that company is there, because I believe at the time of the move, their U-Haul that they were using actually had an issue. Something had happened, and they weren't able to use their U-Haul. But they have a process in place where if their truck is down, if their truck is down, they went and got it. They were able to get another truck and be able to fulfill our needs. So do your research. Don't just go get any fly off the wall company. Make sure that they're credible enough to do the job. Yeah,
and actually, I have resources to a really great utility moving company that they'll basically handle everything for you. That yes, it's for a fee, but if you want to make this move seamless and just want it over with, then that's a great company. They'll handle all of that for you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let me know. Maybe I'll comment in the description the name of the company and the link, so that way, if you are looking for that option to where you would like everything done for you, they are really great.
Yeah, it was good.
If you are moving across country and you need something like a lot of cargo and use a train to where it's across country, and even with the car, I heard that Amtrak was really good. We didn't need to go through Amtrak because the move was only about 5-6 hours away. But sometimes, like maybe you're moving from New York to Phoenix, so Amtrak might be a better route for your heavier items. The furniture, electronics, your car. Yeah, that might be.
That's a really good point. They also have those pod services where they can come and drop off the pods and you can storage. I'm not sure if that's just a self-storage thing where you can hang on to it, or they take the pods to the place, but I believe they do take it to your home or wherever it's going to be at. That's also helpful as well.
So also one of the things that I did ahead of time is I called all of the utility companies that we were using in California, and I put in a cancellation request because sometimes those need to be done early. So I made sure that we were able to cancel a lot of the bills, drop off the Spectrum box. Of course, we had to let our current landlord know that we were moving. So we had to put in a 30-day notice. So just make sure you're thinking outside of the box when it comes to canceling a lot of your bills. Yeah. And I also called the utility companies out here in Phoenix. Since we have found a place, I was able to give them an address of what day we needed the connection. And actually, as far as like the internet and the electricity, we wanted that connection to be a day prior to us getting here. Yeah. Because we knew that even on moving day, we wanted internet, we wanted electricity, we needed all of it.
So that's a really good point when it comes to the bills. Also, we're landlords ourselves to our house in California. Let your landlord know and give them ample time to know that if you're moving. Sometimes moves happen quickly. Sometimes you have time. The more time you can give the landlord, the better. It helps them prepare for their next tenants that might be moving in. And in our case, it did happen kind of quick, but as soon as we found out, we let the landlord know. We made sure everything was set up the right way, and everything moved smoothly. It actually all happened very seamlessly.
Yeah.
But as far as the rental or wherever you're living, make sure you're prepared with that. and then make sure the bills, as she said, are all ready to be switched over or changed over when that time comes. Because you will find yourself losing a lot of money if you do things at the last minute when it comes to maybe you know that you're going to be shutting off your cable, and you know if you paid through the cycle of that bill and you wait an extra day. Now you just paid a whole month of a cable bill that you're not even going to be using, or even another bill. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah. And also, if you're looking for ways to save money and to cut costs for your move, that's a great way to cancel the luxuries that you don't need, that you know that last month of you living wherever you're living, you're not going to be going to the gym. So cancel the gym membership. You're not going to be, going to wherever else you can have a membership to. So start thinking outside of the box to, cut back on some of those expenses so you can start to save early.
Yeah.
Also, the DMV. When we were living in California, I made an appointment out here at the DMV online, because one of the things I knew that we were going to need an ID. We were going to need a new state ID. We were going to need to register our car. Yeah. It was lucky for us, the vehicle taxes out in California were a lot more expensive than the vehicle taxes out here. The vehicle registration, right?
Yeah.
So, it was great because we were able to cut costs the quicker we got our vehicle registered out here in Arizona. So make sure you make those appointments.
Yeah, and it's different also if you're moving from California. We know it as smog tests, and you have to get your car smogged and different things. They do it here as well, but there are state controlled facilities where everybody takes their car into a specific place. And they don't even call it smog check. I think it's called like emissions test or something. But know that you got to make sure you know what your state that you're moving to, what their laws are, what their procedures are. Don't walk and say, "Where's your DMV?" Because they're going to say, "What is the DMV?" I think they call it here ADOT, Arizona Department of Transportation.
Oh, okay.
So
that's right. They do.
That's a little bit different. Whereas California, they call it the DMV. Same concept, same place you take it to, but just it's different for every state.
Yeah. And I'm kind of chuckling because I do remember that feeling of being here in Arizona and everything being so new and going to the DMV and all of their different procedures. And it was just, it was a thrill, but we were also prepared and ready for change.
Yeah. Those who are in Arizona, it's much different out here. It was the lines went smooth out here. It was quick. We didn't, it was good. A little bit different in California, but some more people out there.
So in our situation, we were very fortunate that my parents were able to watch our kids and our puppy while my husband and I were able to travel to Arizona to try to get the house ready. However, sometimes there are going to be those moments to where you have to travel on a plane, in a car, long distance with the kids. And we do know that it could be a little bit stressful. So one thing that that has helped us tremendously when we fly on the plane with the kids, before we get in the plane, like a couple of days before, I go to the 99-cent store and I buy a bunch of toys that the kids never saw before, that they had never seen. So I pull those toys out and I give it to them while they're on the plane. So that way it kind of keeps their attention for at least a good hour or two. If it's a toy that they already have, it's possible that they won't be as interested in the toy and that they'll, touching buttons, touching the person next to them, fidgety, whatever it is. But when they do have a toy or a snack there, it kind of takes their mind off of things. So the same thing for a long car ride. When we travel back and forth to California, we try to go late at night. So like around bedtime, when their bedtime starts, we try to hit the road so they can sleep the majority of the way. Or leave early in the morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so that they can sleep the majority of the way.
That's a big help, guys. If there's anything in this video you're listening to and you're traveling with kids, understand the process of traveling with kids. Kids are kids because they're kids, right? Their attention spans aren't necessarily the longest or the best, and they're bored.
Easily bored.
Easily. They're bored in the first minute after they stop and doing something. So I have found that, especially when I'm driving from state to state, leaving at the crack of dawn, leaving earlier in the morning. Get your rest, leave early in the morning. They're sleeping. Most of the times when we travel from Arizona to California, we leave in the morning, the kids sleep the whole way. And you'll find peace is created, and you're able to get that drive done.
We're all about that peace.
Oh, that peace that is real. But if the circumstances happen, we're traveling further, right? And so you're going to be in the car, they're going to be awake. As she said, you can plan. You can plan for that. You can create games. You can buy small games. It doesn't take a couple dollars just to get that together. Yeah. And their attentions are taken.
And actually, if I did have to travel across country, and especially if COVID's not, going on and things are open, I would plan a trip to a Chuck E. Cheese or a John's Incredible Pizza along the way, just to kind of allow the driver and the other parent to kind of chill out, let the kids run around, play, get them exhausted. Then you guys get back in the car and go.
Yeah. Or even find a monument place. Or if you're going from one state to another, and that there's somewhere you guys haven't been that would capture the attention.
Interesting for the kids.
Yes, capture the attention of the whole family, not just the dad or the mom. That might be something good to do.
Yeah. And what I think is the most helpful tip that I can give when moving across country or to any state: find a trusted realtor or find a trusted friend that you can confide in and that you can ask questions. Ask those questions like, know, and also know the area that you're moving to. That I've had many people contact me when they are moving out here, and I help them decide which dates were best, where they would be moving to, whether they are renting first or purchasing. I help them purchase their home here in Phoenix, Arizona. And any type of virtual assistance that I could do for them, I did. As they were purchasing the house, or when they were about to purchase the house, putting in a bid or making an offer, I went to the house virtually. I was able to show them what the house looked like, and have appointments. That there's nothing like having a trusted realtor or friend that you can kind of connect with that's in the state that you're moving to.
That's a great point. And not to spread some sugar on her, which she is amazing when it comes to real estate. Creating that list. She's really big at creating lists. Yes. So finding a trusted realtor such as Brittaney, she'll help you create that list of checkpoints that need to happen before that move takes place. And you will find those checkpoints happen, it will make everything smooth. And she has an amazing ability to do that. Everybody we talked to, everybody we've worked with that had used her checklist has said nothing but great things about the process. So the team and I that are here, we do specialize in relocation and helping families and new clients move across country, and we'd be honored we'd be honored to help you. Remember, you got this. You can do it. And you can do it safely, and
change is good.
Stress-free most of the time.
Finding your peace.
There you go.
I should do a video on finding your peace.
Your peace.
So when you're moving across country, you've got to reach out to us. You've got to call the number. You've got to text. You've got to email me. So that way my team and I can help get you in that right area. You want to get a hold of us, make sure you do. We got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona.
Take that first step.